And now for our guest speaker, founder and president of Catskill Animal Sanctuary in New York State, Kathy Stevens spent her childhood on a Virginia horse farm. Kathy moved to Boston for graduate school, and after a decade of teaching high school English, she was asked to head a charter school. Instead, 1 year later, she opened Catskill Animal Sanctuary, one of the United States' leading havens for rescued farmed animals and a center for raising public awareness of their sentience and of their suffering. She is the author of two critically and properly acclaimed books, Where the Blind Horse Sings and Animal Camp. She is also a blogger on farmed animal issues for the Huffington Post and a frequent contributor to books and articles on farmed animals, vegan living, and related issues. We are thrilled to have Kathy join us here in Toronto to be this year's honored guest speaker. Please welcome Kathy Stevens.
I am so happy to be part of this. It's very different from what I do all day, which is kissing pigs and telling chickens I love them and teaching them their names. I love you. You guys do the hard stuff. This is a hell of a lot harder than what we do. Shit. This is hard. I'm here with three very simple messages, but first, a very quick review. Let's tell it like it is. Around the world, billions or trillions if you count all of sea life. Animals who want their lives as much as I want mine. Animals who move toward joy and away from suffering. Animals who have their individual little quirky personalities. 10 chickens are every bit as different as 10 human beings, for whom pain and suffering feel identical as they do to you and to me, are subjected to lives and to deaths so depraved that you would not wish that life or that death on the most vile human being your mind could conjure up. So yes, the stakes are high. And secondly, the earth is on the brink of no return. Who would have thought that one species had the capacity to kill the oceans? Who would have thought that one species had the capacity to bring our planet to its knees? But that is what is happening when we act as if we are the only ones who matter. So, yes, these stakes are high. But guess what? My first message today is that we are winning. We are winning. Consider the following.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure.
From 1980, first of all, the Nobel Prize winning economist Alvin Roth predicted that in the very near future, veganism will become the dominant paradigm in the very near future. Remember what Gandhi said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and that's what they're doing now, and then you win. From 1980 to 2015 in Canada, beef, pork, and veal consumption have plummeted. Chicken consumption has been declining since 2007. Canadian milk consumption has dropped 25% in the last 20 years. The statistics are similar for the U.S. In a survey commissioned by the Dairy Farmers of Canada, 10% of non-milk drinkers stated that they had gone vegan, and 8% said they no longer wanted to support an industry whose practice they regarded as cruel. From 2009 to 2013, the number of vegan food launches doubled. Everybody can conjure up your own list, your own proof that we are winning. It wasn't so very long ago that the dairy aisle was dairy. when you went to get milk, you could only get cow's milk, not that very long. And now, even in the most mainstream supermarkets, there is hemp, there is coconut, there is soy, there is almond, there is rice.
Woo, almond!
Me too. Me too for almond. We are winning. Except that now in the U.S., the meat and dairy industry are trying to blame the almond for California's drought. We heard a story on story on public radio a couple weeks ago that blamed the almond for the drought in California. Don't blame my nuts. Another big piece of evidence that we are winning, there is an advisory committee to the FDA, the group, the USDA and the FDA, the ones that determine school food, the menu for public school food, that you might have heard about this up here. They recommended a largely plant-based diet. Now, you cannot get more mainstream than the U.S. Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee. So, friends, we are winning. Woo! The second little message that I bring today, and I am so touched because I've never done anything like this. Like I said, I am at the other end with the lucky few. And I thought I would feel among you more anger. And so part of what I was about to say is based on that misperception that I thought I was going to feel. Instead, I felt a lot of what I'm about to talk about. Love, not anger, will win the day. Love, not anger, will change the world for animals. It is natural to feel anger, even rage at the suffering inflicted on other species because we want their flesh, their meat, their fur, their skin. It's easy to feel anger, even rage, at those who've not yet connected the dots between their behavior and the suffering of beings who, except for differences of species, are very much like us in all the ways that matter. And it's even more natural to feel anger toward the people, like everybody in my family, people who do get it and who choose to continue to eat animals because right now their taste buds trump everything else. However, friends, consider this, please. We weren't vegan until we were. We didn't get it until we did. We wrestled with our conscience. We stuck our toes in the water. We slid back. We screwed up. We tried again. We faltered too. The point is that we were exactly like the ones that some of us, not all, some of us judge and condemn and ridicule and attack, and my best guess is that we didn't arrive where we were today because someone was screaming at us or calling us an idiot on Facebook. Speak your truth, speak it boldly, speak it with certainty, speak it unflinchingly and with conviction, but not with anger. Never with anger. If you come at me with anger, my heart shuts down in self-defense. If you come at me and point and yell, I back up and I shut down. Truth delivered with love is utterly disarming. This kind of truth-telling opens the heart, and with an open heart we feel the suffering of our fellow beings as never before, and that is the place from which we make lasting change. So check your anger at the door, see yourself in those you seek to change, and lead with love Thank you. Martin Luther King said, maybe he's listening, you have very little morally persuasive power with people who can feel your underlying contempt. Thank you. I don't know that quote. Thank you for that. The third message that I bring on this momentous day is a reminder that the work we are doing is part of the largest, most difficult, and most urgent social change movement of all time. We are not asking one race to change in relation to each other, not asking one gender to change in relation to each other, not asking people of a particular religious group, social class, sexual orientation to change in regard to others, to become more tolerant and more accepting of the idea that we all deserve freedom and dignity and opportunity. We are asking every single person on this planet to change not only their attitudes, but their behavior. So of course, it's hard. Of course, it takes time. It's a tall order. But because it is a tall order, remember the enormity of the challenge. Keep your perspective when things don't happen overnight. Be good to yourself, because the world needs the very best in you, and it needs you to be here for the long haul. Not for one march, for many marches, for many conversations, for many vegan get-togethers. See all your fellow human beings as potential allies. Believe in the individual's capacity for change. We all changed. We all changed. Believe in our fellow human beings' capacity to change for good. Love and support each other. After all, we and the animals are the only ones we have. I close with the words of Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We're the ones we've been waiting for. Onward. Onward.